Hello everybody, Bob6983 here, and finally we're here for probably the longest Let's Play on this channel, bar none. I'm going to be talking over this entire intro just because I'm gonna go into this right now. This is a game that I'm very scared about Let's Playing. It's a very similar concept to Rhythm Thief in the sense that I don't want to get in trouble because of the music. I've never played a Square Enix game on a channel, ever, so I know that there's a lot of like rules to abide by, like, you know, like no spoilers, like, oh, you can't be just putting this content out there because of the music, all that stuff. So I'm going to try my hardest to, you know, talk over a lot of the music and, you know, just trying to give, you know, my point of view, like my opinions on everything. That way, you know, it's in a, that way basically nobody can say, oh, you know, you're just putting this out there. That way, you know, you could just stream out the music and stream out spoilers. And yeah, if, you know, if push comes to shove and, you know, Square Enix is like, oh, we don't like that you're making this content, so we're going to have to ask you to take it down, I will do so. But just know, I guess, none of this stuff is mine. Square Enix are like the main copyright holders. The music in this version of this game is made by an orchestra, and they also have their own copyright thing. So yeah, before anything, I'm going to say, if you really like the music, if you really like this game, please buy it, or just aesthetically, please get it, and support, you know, the people who made this game and, you know, the people who made the music, because honestly, this is a very, very, very great game that I love. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age. Definitive Edition, I guess. Also added in there to S as well. But yeah, I wanted you all to see the intro because it kind of gives you an idea of what we're kind of going to get into for this game. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. I have a lot of save files on this, so I guess excuse me if you see something that's, you know, like maybe spoilers. But I'm like, for most of you that haven't played this game, it's not gonna, like, you're not gonna know what it is. We're gonna create a new adventure log. I'm gonna go over to the third page. You have a lot of save files that you can use. You can have up to 9. I'm going to use number 7. My save files are on page 1. I'm not gonna show you what they are, but yeah, here we go. Page 7. We are going to be called Bob. I'm not going to put Bob6983 because, like, that's overdoing it. Like, no character would be like, oh, hey, Mr. Bob6983. Yeah, that's doing too much. So we're going to be called Bob. Oh, also, I guess, you can, before you, like, continue, there are things that you can add, like the Draconian quests. These are things for more pro players, I guess, if you want to say it. These are options, for example, like it says no shopping, which means you cannot buy any sort of, you cannot buy items like armor, weaponry, stuff of that sort from any shops. This one, it's kind of the same way. Let me see. You can't spend your gold coins on items. You have to get what you get by acquiring them from chests. Can't equip any defensive. Oh, okay. So this one, no armor, is you can't equip any items of defense on your body. But no shopping just means you can't buy anything, so you just have to find them out in the field or craft them yourself. No armor, is what it says. Reduces experience from easy fights. You know, just making it kind of harder for you to grind, I guess. All enemies are super strong. That is another thing that you can put for yourself. Shy Pucks is a interesting thing. Uncontrollable embarrassment will plague you on every step of your adventure. There's no telling when the crippling affliction might flare up next. I think it basically prevents you from doing certain attacks sometimes. So just, you know, sometimes your character is shy, sometimes your character doesn't want to do something. And then this one I think is for your entire party, Super Shy Pox. So, yeah, not very fun, but you know, these are self-imposed challenges that you could put on yourself. Townsfolk Talk Tribe. I don't know what this is. A strange force will sometimes overcome the inhabitants of Erdrea, making them tell a white lie or two. Oh, that's mean. That sounds fun though. Party wiped out if the protagonist perishes. You can put this one on, but I mean, if this is your very first time playing, I'd suggest don't do this. Just play normally. I'm going to play normally. I'm not going to put these self-imposed things on myself. You can, if you are, you know, a veteran to the Dragon Quest series. I'm getting into a lot of information already. I'm going to let you all know that right now this is going to be a very long series. It's probably going to take maybe 100 episodes, maybe more. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. I just said, screw it, we ball. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and end. There's going to be a lot that I need to get into details on, you know, before we start this. But yeah, we'll just talk about it as we go. We're happy with the name, Bob. So there is a 3D and 2D mode. 2D mode is for those of you who have never been, you know, a part of the Dragon Quest franchise, or I guess fans in general. It's basically like, the best way I can put it is, if you've ever seen gameplay or played gameplay like Zelda 2, where anywhere that is not a city has random encounters on the field, or if you've played Pokemon, it's kind of like if every city, or everything that is not a city, was wild grass. So every sort of block or every sort of step was basically just wild grass. That's basically how 2D mode works. I personally don't really like it much, but for those of you who are a bit more of the fan of like Dragon Quest 1 through like 6, maybe sort of around that that time gap, I guess, or time frame, that's for those players that like that playstyle a bit more. I'm gonna say 3D mode, you can swap between the two whenever you'd like. I just say 3D mode is better for, you know, beginners, or for, I guess, aesthetically, I guess. You can also adjust a few things in the mice menu. Which language would you like? See, I personally, me personally, really like Japanese. I would recommend you put Japanese if you're like a bit more into like watching anime and manga. If you're a lot more into watching anime, because they have a lot of voice actors from certain animes. Like for example, one of the characters' mothers is played by the voice actress for Big Mom in One Piece. There's another character that later on that's played by the voice actor for Joseph Joestar. There's a lot of like characters that you've seen like in anime, basically, and it just seems a lot. It feels a lot better, at least from my point of view. English is more like it gets the Xenoblade treatment. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody gets voiced by somebody who's European. That's basically how it goes. I'm gonna pick English just so you know. I don't have to read everything. Vertical movement, horizontal movement. That's basically what I'm going to leave it on. Automatic basically means if you are moving in one direction, not the bend. If you're moving in a certain direction, the camera will change according to that direction that you're facing. I sometimes like it, other times I don't. It's just up to you, whatever you like. Like for example, if you turn it on, see how on the right it shows you how exactly it's moving. That's basically what it does. I might just leave it on. I'm not sure. Okay, this is just, you know, the brightness, all that stuff. Basically, you're just trying to get yourself situated with how the game is going to work. I probably should have put a timestamp at the very beginning before I started all of this, because this is just me, you know, setting all my settings to what I like them to. This is probably just fine. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, basically what you needed to be able to see is like if there's enemies on the field that you can't see or that you can see, like how would you like to see it, basically. Again, I'm playing this on the Switch. However, you can buy this game off of the Epic Games Store, off of Steam, off of the Microsoft Store, on PlayStation 4, 5, maybe Xbox One. I am not sure. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, if you want to play on PC or PS4, PS5, Switch, go for it. All of them I think are pretty viable options. However, I maybe say that on PC it would just look better aesthetically, I guess. For those of you who have like, you know, really good builds on your PC, maybe, you know, it would look a lot better. But that's just, you know, my preference. You know, I'm playing on Switch, but I would say aesthetically it looked better on PC. I'm just, you know, more acquainted with the controls on the Switch. I need to actually turn up my volume on my TV because I can't really hear if they're talking.
This child, he is the one.
There's the mark.
Yeah, we're basically getting
There's no mistake.
backstory to what's gonna happen. Oh, by the way, for those of you who I guess are curious, the person who worked on the art in this game is the late Akira Toriyama. So yeah, I've been in a Dragon Quest mood as of recent, and I guess also with like the more recent news, it's gotten me to want to play this a bit more. I'll try to leave this playing out a little bit, but I also, don't want to be quiet throughout all of the game because I don't want to get in trouble. We've kind of got a bit of a Moses situation happening. It's crazy that it happened twice, but it'd be like that.
Oh my. What in heavens are you doing here? And after that awful storm, too. However did you survive? Oh, you're a jolly one. What's this? Oh, you poor thing. Come here. Come here. Oh, there's no need to be frightened anymore. You're safe now, little fellow.
Oh, right. By the way, this world has a world tree in the back, or like in the dead center. And that's what this entire game is going to be circling around, I guess. Or basing its entire events on. By the way, that baby was us, yes. Or is us, I guess. One more thing, I guess, to before, we get into the gameplay. There is a demo of this game that you can try out, so, you can try out the combat system. It's basically from this point, like right here in time, to maybe like the next 15 to 20 minutes. That's basically what the demo covers.
Thanks so much. You're a lifesaver.
I need to speed up the dialogue or make it so it's going faster.
Trust me to lose my headscarf just before the big ceremony.
But yeah, we're gonna get into that once we finally get access to the mice settings, or the miscellaneous, I guess is the correct way to say it.
So it's finally here, the big day. I can't believe we're gonna be climbing all the way up there. Looks like Sandy's keen to lead the way. Come on, best not keep her waiting.
Yeah, we got a female friend. So right off the bat, I'm gonna press X, and go to the miscellaneous settings. Let's see, tactics, and I'm gonna say system settings. Battle mode, camera mode, audio settings. I'm going to go ahead and for the music, I'm going to drop it down to a solid maybe 4. I love the symphonic, but synthesize is probably the correct one. I'm gonna keep it on the symphonic just because I love it. Autoplay cutscenes on, yep. Protagonist voice on, yeah, okay. Okay, there we go. So you can just walk around, you know, with your left control stick. You can control the camera with the right control stick. There's a lot of things that we're gonna get into with the controls, but like we'll just continue once once we're done with like just about everything for the quote-unquote demo. This is our mom. Just look at you, Bob, my little boy, all grown up. Now be sure to look after Gemma, you hear? I think you've been inseparable since you were tiny, and here you are, about to climb the Tor together. Oh, and if ever you lose your way, just follow Sandy. That dog's got more sense than any of us. Off you go now, dear. I know the two of you will be just fine, and I'll make sure there's a delicious supper waiting for you when you get back. This guy is like the elder of the village. Bob, seeing you and my dear Gemma all set for your big day makes me proud as anything, both as mayor and as a grandfather. You're not kids anymore, you know. No, you're grown up now, and that means going to the Tor and offering you your thanks. Now it's time. Now it's time you were on your way. Head up to the top, give praise to the spirit of the land, then come back down and tell us how you like the view. And if you're ever unsure what to do next, try pressing X and select Party Talk. Gemma might have some useful tips for you. That is going to be very important. If you're ever lost or confused, press the X button and it will usually tell you what to do. Or, my bad, I meant the Y button. At least for me, it's the Y button. It basically opens up the map. There's a little, there's a text box on the top right. It tells you basically what your current goal is. And if you still can't figure out what to do, press X, Party Talk, and it will open up your entire party. Yeah, for now, we follow Sandy. This episode is probably going to be about 30 to 40 minutes long. I know. All of the episodes in this series are probably going to be that long.
Folk of Cobblestone, great land spirits, hearth and home. That's how it goes, isn't it? My granddad's been teaching me the prayer ever since I was little. He reckons the spirit of the land really does live on Cobblestone Tor, you see. As long as I can remember, he's been preparing me for this day. The day it would finally be my turn to climb all the way up there and offer my thanks. I just wonder whose idea it was in the first place, sending the village's young folk on such a dangerous errand. What if I take a tumble and do myself a mischief? Well, not to worry. Since you and me were born on the same day, I'm lucky enough to have a bodyguard along for the journey. Come on then. That craggy old thing won't climb its... Oh. Ah! Monsters! They're coming this way.
So yes, since everybody is voiced by a European person, they all have European lingo.
Watch out!
These are slimes. They are the weakest enemies in the game, basically just trying to get you acquainted with how the combat system works. It's a turn-based combat system, so if you're used to Pokemon, that's basically how it goes. Except, you know, you have multiple people in your party. Sandy will also be attacking, but Sandy does not have an HP bar. So if they attack you, then you take damage, but if they attack Sandy, Sandy's going to be perfectly fine. Gemma is basically going to be your healer until you get a, you know, a proper healer. So that is how it's going to go for this tutorial. Sometimes the slimes won't do anything, or they'll be, you know, shocked by, you know, something that Sandy does. There's going to be a lot of things that determine what happens during the combat. So yeah, that's just, you know, to get you acquainted. You gain experience, you gain gold, sometimes dropping treasure chests. There's what the enemies do. You get medicinal herbs. There we go. We are good to go.
Crikey, I wasn't expecting that. I know they were only little, but I'd have been done for if you and Sandy hadn't been here to help me. And now we've got to go through that horrible, dingy cave. Just our luck. I'll bet you anything that's where those awful things came from. Well, as long as you're with me, I've got nothing to worry about. Come on, let's get going.
Okay. Another thing that I guess you can do is press B to jump. That's something that's not in the normal version of this game. There are, I guess, 3 versions of this game technically. There's the normal. Oh my gosh. There's the normal one. There's the definitive edition. The definitive edition, I'd say, is definitely the version that you want to play, because there's a lot of things that they added in this version of the game that makes it a lot more accessible, I like to think. For example, the jump button. That's one big thing. There's a few other things that I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But yeah, I would highly recommend play the definitive edition. There is one more version that you technically can play if you have a Japanese 3DS, which is the 3DS version. It's like, imagine if everything is chibi. That's basically how it goes. I think I have to go back down. There's something here. All right, they're teaching you that if you walk up to an enemy, there is a sort of surprise slash that you can do. But yeah, there is a 3DS version of the game, but it's like, you know how like in some games, like for example, like Persona Q and Persona Q2, how there's like a chibi version of like certain games, you know, stuff like that. That's basically how Dragon Quest XI goes on the 3DS. Yeah, it's not great, but you know, it works if you have a Japanese 3DS and you have like access to that copy of the game. I don't know. Me personally, I'd say you're better off just playing this on, like I said, PC or Switch. What I will say though is it's a lot cheaper to buy it on Steam or Epic Games, because the definitive edition is about $40 something on Steam, but on Switch it is about $60. So I don't know. Make with that what you will, and I guess choose the correct version for you. With the controller, I don't know if I said this already, but with the ZR button, you can dash forward a lot faster. So in case this is a little too slow for you, you can dash. These guys up ahead are a different kind of enemy. They actually do a bit more damage. They have sort of like a lance-like weapon. They're needles, but like they serve as lances. We're gonna get into lances much later on in this game. But yeah, they are a somewhat scary kind of weaponry that you can have or fight against. Oh, and these guys can also heal themselves. Okay, cool. He's paralyzed.
You can do it.
You can kind of see on the bottom right, there were two kind of bars that could be filled up. We leveled up, by the way. We learned Frizz and 2 chests. Okay, cool. But what I was going to say is there are 2 things that could be filled up on the bottom right. One is our HP, and the other is MP. We're gonna get into that, I guess later. I kind of can, you know, give you an idea of what it is. Probably a few of you already know what it is. Just magic points. But yeah. So those 2 things can be depleted. Those 2 things can be, you know, be filled up again. We'll get into those a lot later. These glowing things on the ground are items that you can pick up. They may kind of be useless right now, but they will help you when you are building items, when you're making them, stuff of that sort. But this kind of side quest adventure thing that we're doing right now, it's kind of like the test of courage that some people do like in Japan. But I guess just shown off as a demo for this game. Just get you acquainted with everything.
Is this normal, do you think?
Help! Help me!
What? Cole? Quick! You have to help him! It's not fog at all. It's more monsters.
This is going to be our first, like, kind of mini boss fight. It's not like a proper boss fight because there is one boss fight later on. I think that is more like, it's more appropriate to be that. But I don't know. I guess this is your proper strong enemy, if that makes sense.
Fight some more. Crumbs. Go on.
You can use Frizz against the enemies,
Don't give up.
but I just suggest using your sword. But you can use it if you want to, I guess, get a understanding of it. But it basically just works as another singular attack.
Go on.
It's just like a
do it.
fireball. It uses 2 MP. We have 4 MP, so we don't necessarily have to do it. But yeah, you see how Sandy's being attacked and doesn't really do anything. You don't really see like a health bar for Sandy. So yeah, Sandy is a good doggo that doesn't necessarily need to be worried about. Sandy's tough. Is basically what I'm getting at.
Go on. You can do it. Get him.
It's rather unfortunate that Sandy's doing more damage than us, but you know what? It's fine.
Fight and fight some
Gemma,
more.
I would have appreciated if you healed me, but we're done with the boss fight anyway, or mini boss fight. We
Well
level up
done.
again. There we go. I believe leveling up heals all of the HP of
I'm
said
sorry,
party
Gemma.
member.
I only
Not of
came
everybody.
Up, but then those
I
monsters
did not mean to skip
appeared.
through all that dialogue. But yeah, it heals
What in the world
the
is
HP
going
of
on?
the
I never heard
party
anything
member that
about
levels up.
monsters appearing on the tour before. But never mind that now. Whatever were you thinking? You could have been killed. You take Sandy and get back to the village this instant.
Yes, Gemma. Sorry, Gemma.
You saved my bacon again. I knew you were tough, but crikey, you really have grown into quite the hero. Not far to the top now. Typical. It would have to go and start raining, wouldn't it? Come on, let's get a move on.
Okay. A new mechanic that's going to be introduced to us. Climbing ropes in general. Whenever there's an exclamation mark that's blue, you can usually interact with said item or said thing on the overworld. So, yeah. There's another portion right here. Don't worry, you can't fall off of here. You just hold in the direction that you want to go in, and you can creep on the wall. Yeah, don't worry, you don't fall. Down here, though, you technically can use the rope, but we are a tough cookie, so we can just go ahead and drop down. And then here's more climbing up. I did not mean to do that. There we go. Climb up over this way. There we go. Yeah, if you want to open your inventory, if you wanted to heal up, press X, your items. And there's many, I guess, ways to differentiate all the items. Important items, we don't have one just yet, but the equipment bag is where you put all your armor, your weapons, all that stuff. And then the item bag is for everything else, like medicine or just your ingredients for making other things. If you want, technically right now, if you don't like the sword and you want to be doing more damage, you can swap over to the great sword. It does more damage. You have a higher chance of parrying things. But I'm not going to be using great swords for this version, or for this playthrough of this game. So, yeah. If you want to, though, you can. There are, we're going to get into that much later. There are multiple weapons that you can use for certain characters in your party. But
Here we are
I personally
at
have,
last.
preferences.
It's such a shame about the weather. I was really looking forward to that view. Well, we better say the prayer and get this ceremony over with, eh? What was that? Help! Help me! Help! Help! We're alive. How? That great big flash of lightning. It was almost like you made it happen. Look! The mark on your hand! Huh? Oh, it stopped. Well, we can worry about that later. All I know is that you saved me yet again. I don't know what I'd do without you. Now, we really had better be finishing up this ceremony.
Okay, enough of me being quiet. It's basically, you know, this is the end of the demo,
Humble
basically.
folk of Cobblestone, great land spirits, hearth and home. Lift your voices up in prayer. Sing it across all Erdrea. Blessed are we
Erdrea?
since
I like to
days
say it
of
as
yore.
Erdrea.
Let it be so forevermore.
But I guess I am going to give you a bit of information about Dragon Quest in general.
Look!
All of the main protagonists, or rather all of the heroes in each game, they are the only ones with access to the electric type attacks, for example, like Zap, or things with just lightning in general. They are mainly the characters who have that
It
kind
just
of
goes
thing to their
on
arsenal.
and on and on. Whoever dreamed up this ceremony must have had this in mind. They wanted to show us how huge our world really is. Well, that's it. It's all over and now we're grown-ups. Should we head down and tell Grandad and everyone? They'll all be waiting for us at the bottom.
All right, and with that done, we are done with the demo. I don't know if I want to, you know, cut the episode off here once we get to the bottom, because like it's gonna be 30 minutes, I guess, and that will be a decent stopping point, I guess. But I don't know. I'll see what the next task is. But yeah. Hi, Sandy. You are the priest. Oh, right. Big thing about this game, I guess. If you don't like it, well, then I guess suffer. Or if you don't like it, I guess this game isn't for you. But the way that you save the game in this game, like if you want to save your file, is you have to pray at a church, or with somebody who is considered somebody of a church, or with a statue on the overworld that is considered of like the deity of this world. So basically you're praying to a god. That's how you save, just so you know. He is probably one of the many people that you can see like in the overworld that is one of the save spots. Or just somebody who is in a church. There's going to be a big icon that has like it's like a blue circle with like kind of like a separated triangle of sorts in between. That's how you'll know where the save point is.
We're back safe and sound, Grandad.
Indeed you are, my dear. Thank the spirits for that. When we saw lightning striking up there, we got a little worried, I have to tell you.
Oh, I guess I explained.
Well, I never. Sounds like it's nothing short of a miracle that you made it back.
He
in
said
one
the
piece.
name! Have an ass.
Well, there's no doubt about it. The spirit of the land was watching over you. Now tell me, my dear, how was the view from the top?
It was wonderful. I saw the sea stretch into the horizon and the sunlight playing on the water and... Oh, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
You're true Cobblestonians now. Only we have the pleasure of looking out over the world of Erdrea in such breathtaking fashion, you know. You're still young, and the day may yet come when you decide to leave Cobblestone behind. I hope our little ceremony has opened your eyes to a little of what may await you out there. Now, it's high time we were heading back. I'm sure your mother is eager to hear how things went, young man. Don't keep poor Amber in suspense.
Come on, you. Home time.
Okay. I think that's a good stopping point. I don't know why I extended that. Wait, that's one of the churches over there. This is where we live. I guess we'll get into this in the next episode. It auto saves, by the way. We are done. We have come of age. But thank you all so much for watching. Next time on Dragon Quest XI, we will continue in our hometown and just continue with our adventure. Not much has happened, but a lot will be happening in the future. I don't know what I'm getting myself into with this series. This is a lot. But see you all then, I guess.